Hello, party people. It has been a while since we've done one of these videos. And I've been kind of nudged into doing this one because one of our TikTok followers sent some messages about our autism journey, and I tried to reply to it and it wouldn't let me. So I promised her that I would do this video. So I do hope that this not only helps her, but that it helps some other family. So before we go any further, how about you all hit that subscribe button and that bell button so that you can get notifications when we upload new videos. If you're new here, this is our family page. A lot of our content, we are pretty much just a family. A lot of our content, however, will be based up on autism awareness, acceptance, and inclusion. Inclusion. People are aware of autism. People are quote unquote accepting it, but we are not including our children. So we will tell about our journey. So take this journey with us. All right, so we're gonna do this because my memory is a little bit bad. So I took a screenshot and I am just going to kind of answer her questions in chronological order as she sent them to me. All right, so first question, what is ABA? Before I go, you guys see my shirt. I am such a autism awareness geek. I would say, like, I love shirts. I love anything that basically represents autism awareness. So that's my little tidbit about that. Anyways, ABA for me and for our family, I would say it's a godsend. That may not be everybody's perception of ABA, and I apologize, but for us it has been 100% beneficial, and now I can actually speak from both sides of the spectrum, because before our son only went to center, ABA based center. He never went to school prior to 6 months ago. Now I have two things to compare. Now when Noah was going to the ABA center, where there was one-on-one with him, I was an adult with him all day, he was thriving. When he went to school, no disrespect to the school, because for some children who have autism spectrum disorder, school is a godsend, or school is perfect for them. But we have to normalize that our children have different needs. Not only our children with different abilities, but all of our children do, and it's okay. So school just isn't working for Noah. He's not thriving. And you may say, well, maybe it's because you moved. No, now we are doing in-home ABA. And Noah is beginning to thrive again because he has that one-on-one interaction. So for us, ABA has been a godsend. And if I was going to paraphrase what ABA is, it is applied behavior analysis. And basically what they do is they work with our children and help them to adjust to the world or function in the world around them. They don't try to change who the child is or take the child's characteristics away, but they do attempt to help the child to function in the world around them, because the goal is that our children are able to function as best as they can. We know that they have a different ability. We know that they are not neurotypical, but the goal is for them to be able to function with their peers. We're not trying to change their person. ABA doesn't try to change their personality, but it helps them to function. Now, a lot of people may say, I don't want to change who my child is, and that's okay, but we have to be 100% honest. Our children are at some point going to have to interact with others. They are going to have to be in a group setting, so to speak. And it's not saying, oh, you have to act like them, but sometimes some of our children have sensitivities. They have sensory processing disorder. So ABA works with them on some of these things. You know, like some children can't take a lot of noise. So ABA will try to help potentially desensitize them, or try to get things to help them to function so that that family doesn't have to stay in the house, so that that child can go out into public or into society and they're not isolated. For a parent of a child with autism, I want inclusion, period. And I can't just ask that the world includes him in everything or that his peers include him. I have to do something about that. I have to try to do my part to make sure and help him be ready, and help him to be able to do things with his peers. I'm not trying to change who Noah is, but I also don't want him to be locked up in his room for the rest of his life. I want him to be able to at least be out into society. So I hope that helps. So ABA has been a godsend for us. Some of the things that they have assisted us with is food tolerance. Noah had a very picky diet. It was basically crunch. If it wasn't crunchy, he didn't want it. He wasn't really eating any fruits or vegetables. Guess what? He eats oranges now, and he will eat salad, just lettuce by itself. So that's just some of the things. ABA is basically primarily responsible for Noah being able to urinate or being potty trained to urine, because they have such stringent and such, don't want to say the word stringent, but such detailed practices and policies in place that they basically potty trained my son. So for us, ABA has been a godsend. Okay, and her next question was, my son likes to play with his private parts quite often. I really need help to get him to stop. Is that something that ABA can help with, as well as potty training? Well, I kind of answered the potty training portion of it. So a moment of transparency. Noah had developed, and I think I shared this in a previous video, but Noah had developed a behavior of thrusting against females. So what he would do is he would come and hug, and then he would thrust his private area or his genitals against you. And I noticed one day that he was forming an erection, or he was developing an erection. So I'm like, oh my God, and my family, they're like, oh my God, somebody's been touching him, or he's been seeing something, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I keep this kid with me. What's going on? Guess what I did? After getting over myself, because you will learn the more that you follow us, this mama and this daddy, but especially this mama, is in this 10 toes down. Anyways, so once I finally stopped and had to realize, wait a minute, you need help and you can't figure out what's going on. So I contacted his ABA therapist at the time, and I told her about my concerns, and she, we texted, and she kind of laughed at me. And she's like, oh no, don't worry about it. And she explained it to me. So the way that she explained it was, Noah is discovering himself, and he is doing what all other children his age or older, or maybe even sometimes a little bit younger, does. But because Noah doesn't really have a sense of, this is inappropriate, you will learn Noah marches to the beat of his own drum. So he doesn't have, and not only him, but just children who have autism spectrum disorder, sometimes they are not, like, they don't function, or they don't think the way that most children think, like, I probably shouldn't touch myself because that's kind of inappropriate. So he doesn't think like that. So he feels this urge and he acts up on it. So she explained that to me. Where most children will go into the shower and discover themselves, he doesn't have, he doesn't understand, or that's not the way his mind works. So he has an urge, he acts up on it. So she said, what we'll do is we will get a program in place. And you'll hear me refer to it as program. Basically what it is, it's a written plan, and they have, so if he was to thrust, they had a plan, and basically it's a distraction to get his mind off of that. And if you keep on distracting him, he will stop. And not only did they put that plan in place at the center, but she made sure that so that I could teach my family or my husband or whoever was fully aware of that plan. So, to your question, ma'am, yes, they will help with that. Now, I have pumped ABA up and I have not pumped it. These are all facts in our experience. But I will be honest, a lot of times there is a wait for ABA. So if it was me, I would use whatever services are available until you are able to get your child into an ABA center or into ABA therapy. So if that means sending them to childhood or early intervention preschool or early childhood preschool for children with developmental delays or children with autism, do it. Remember, it's not all going to happen overnight. And this is a journey. I have to be 100% with you. You'll hear me refer to Noah's autism journey. This is a journey not only for him, but also for our family. So yes, things will not always come easily. That's why you'll hear me push. Find your community. Always network with other moms. Always try to find out whatever resources are available to you, because there are so many that are out there. There is no way for one person to be able to know them all. So build you a community. You are on a journey that is a tough journey, but it is doable. We are people of faith. So we are constantly praying and constantly asking God to give us the strength. We do not ask God to heal Noah because God made him the way that he is, and we don't look at this as a curse, or we don't look at this as something horrible that he did to him. God made him different, just like he made all of us different. He made him different. So we ask God that he gives us strength, and that we are making sure that we are putting our best foot forward and making sure we are doing all that we can for him, and not allowing our personal feelings or our personal thoughts to interfere with that. So build you a village. If it has to be on social media, find people in your area. A village is going to be so beneficial to you. So I truly do hope that this helps. Again, if you have not, hit that like and that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so that you know when we have other videos uploaded. Remember, we love you and God loves you. We will talk to you guys soon.